Hi, I'm Richard Barman. I'm leading Team Spirit. Many social media applications for elderly take existing ideas such as email, strip out some functionality, add some big buttons. But in doing this, it's big often the application itself is probably of no interest to the user. Our idea is to take a familiar concept, the sending and receiving of postcards, and turn that into a super simple way of allowing the elderly to interact with other people. Combined with the use of tablets, which are more friendly than computers, looking more like tiny TVs, plus the fact that the app will function with no user input in the first stages. The user merely has the tablet and displays new and existing postcards, rather like a slideshow with voice messages. At a later stage, they can learn how to send these cards on to their friends and even make their own. That's called taking a photo. The idea of PostCardie has existed for over a year, and some initial funding has allowed us to build a prototype. The project stalled at this stage mainly because of the pressure of other work. But the continuing fall in the price of tablets is making the idea more and more attractive. I've been very grateful to restart this idea under the auspices of the Technical Entrepreneurship Programme. Now, when we talk about customers for our app, we really need to define three potential groups. First of these are the end users, i.e. the elderly people themselves. And surprisingly, whilst we assumed that there would be very little interest from them, e.g. why would I want to use one of those, we're finding more and more elderly people are using technology, for example, digital cameras, mobile phones, even for texting. And they're not averse to the notion of computer tablets. Nevertheless, we found that the most important group of customers will be the families of elderly people, e.g. sons, daughters, people like that. And as the population of elderly increase both in number and in increasing lifespan, there are more concerns amongst the families of elderly people as to their well-being and social inclusion. And given that tablets also make interesting monitoring devices, we found people to be very, very interested indeed. Now, a third group of potential customers would be advertisers. I put this in quotes because I'm thinking adverts slightly differently, more as informational postcards, for example, reminders for doctor's appointments. And these people might pay a reasonable amount for using the PostCardie channel, particularly if it is cheaper and more reliable than existing methods such as post. So it's definitely worth pursuing the idea either in part 2 of the course or maybe independently. And if we're able to raise some funds to revise our prototype and run a small-scale trial, I think we would do this. We also found out about a very useful charity. They're called the Campaign to End Loneliness. Connections in older age, and I think these will be one of our first routes to progressing the idea. They've got academic connections as well. Finally, OAP is an appropriate acronym, being both Opportunity Analysis Project and Old Age Pensioner, which is what we used to call people that we now call senior citizens.